Welcome everyone to another episode of Favorites and Fails, where we talk you through the best and worst aspects of the bikes we've been riding. This time around, we're talking about the 2018 KTM 1290 Super Duke R. This bike makes about 155 horsepower, it weighs around 470 pounds, and it costs $18,000. Number one favorite on the Super Duke has got to be this engine. That is 1,301 cc's of pure performance. And when I say that, I really mean it. We say that an engine is a favorite a lot. This engine is the most favorite that I have ever had in any motorcycle ever. It is viciously fast. It makes 155 horsepower. It makes 92 foot-pounds of torque, which is about double your average middleweight and more than any superbike available on showrooms today. And it also makes most of that torque across most of the revs. There's nowhere you can open the throttle on a KTM Super Duke 1290 that it won't melt your face. Bottom line, for my money, this is the best engine in the world, and I'm never getting sick of using it. A fail has got to be price, because $17,999 American dollars is a lot to pay for a motorcycle. Yes, you get amazing brakes, you get LED lights, you get a TFT dash, you get fully adjustable WP suspension, you even get cruise control. The hand levers are adjustable. Not only that, the foot controls are also adjustable depending on how big your feet are. That's pretty nifty. So bottom line, it's a premium bike and it comes at a premium price. One thing you might not expect with this much performance is this much comfort, and that's a definite favorite of ours. The riding position on the Super Duke is nice and neutral. The suspension's pretty compliant, and even though the seat isn't super thick or soft, it's just the right shape and it works. That monstrous engine we were talking about, it doesn't blow a ton of heat on you, and it's pretty compact, which means the whole bike just feels narrow and small, even though you can still say, punch it Chewy, and go to hyperspace if you want to. It's not really fair to call the electronics on this bike a fail per se, but here's my best shot. Let's start with credit where credit is due, because you get a lot of electronic features on a 1290 Super Duke. You get adjustable traction control, you get adjustable ABS, you get heated grips if you want to, in addition to the 3 ride modes, a track-specific mode which allows you to tune the aggression of the traction control. It's pretty awesome. But in my opinion, what holds the 1290 Super Duke back from its compatriots is racetrack performance on the ragged edge, where the electronics just don't quite have the finesse to keep up. The actual switchgear controls might encapsulate my complaint in a microcosm. They're intuitive, they're easy to use, and they're backlit, which is beautiful. But from my long-term bike, I know that this plastic here, it gets a little sun-bleached and faded after a while. Functionally, not that big a deal. It's just a little bit disappointing considering how luxurious this bike is. I'm down here by the seat to foot peg distance because it would be a real shame if I didn't talk about how super versatile the Super Duke actually is. I had a 2014 model as a long-term bike, and in the 10 or 12,000 miles that I rode that bike, I did everything from track days to urban city riding to 1,500-mile road trips. And the bike was amazingly good at absolutely all of it. Also, that insanely powerful engine we were talking about earlier is actually insanely easy to use. Sometimes we complain about bikes having snatchy throttle response, and what we get in response is, oh well, it just has a lot of torque. This, my friends, is an example of a bike that has more torque than almost anything else, and yet the throttle response and fueling is perfect. So what you get for your 18 grand is basically the Dwayne Johnson of motorcycles. Incredible, brute force, and yet approachable, and you'd probably trust it with your mother. Bottom line, the 1290 Super Duke is one of the most powerful, the most advanced, and the most exciting motorcycles in all the world. And for me, it's one of my absolute favorites. So that does it for this episode of Favorites and Fails. Thank you very much for watching. If you have more questions about the 1290 Super Duke R, or my long-term bike, or Dwayne Johnson, go ahead and leave those questions in the comments section below, and we will do our best to answer them for you. In the meantime, please subscribe, ride safe, and we'll see you next time.